Okay, you are now joining me for my second ever game of Twisted Fate Nami. It was going to be my first game, but I realized halfway through my first game on this deck that I actually had my microphone muted. Now, I just went and took one of the highest seeded decks on Runeterra AR. I believe it was by attacks list. Alan was actually the highest, but he wasn't running Eye of the Dragon. And one of the points I made earlier in the week was about how strong I thought Eye of the Dragon was in the format, and like, this deck may end up dropping it. It may end up being suboptimal, but at least for the first time that I play the deck, I wanted to try it with Eye of the Dragon so that I could kind of get a feel of what everybody else was doing this entire time. I don't think I need to play this Die and Disciple. Okay, yeah, they have timelines. That's acceptable. So, let's see. I don't have Eye. I don't really have anything. I have, like, the Nami and this combo. It should be relatively easy to get Nami down and kind of online. Okay, there's a freeze out of our opponent's hand already, and a 2-1 is nothing. So I kept playing Lee Sin Akshan last night, you know, past sort of the initial point where I was doing well on camera with it, and then I like made it all the way to Diamond 1, got a little bit into Diamond 1, and then like fell all the way to like the bottom of Diamond 3. That was a high roll by me. Okay, we get Beard and we get a Dusk Petal Dust. That's actually kind of insane. And our opponent has nothing on turn 3. Things are looking good. What I really am hoping for right now is something to... Can I level Nami here? With double attune? I mean, like, it doesn't really matter, right? I think I do this, and then I play Nami, and then I end turn, and then Nami's leveled. That right. I care about taking 5 versus the Freljord version. I mean, I don't really care about this 2-1, so... And Nami's safe from Thermo Beam because of the Beard buff, so that's kind of why I'm going for this play in the first place. All according to plan so far, it turns out I am an Ionian genius, which I think I forgot to say in this version of the intro. The reason that I am wearing the pink hoodie is because I'm playing the pink region, so it's, you know, it's funny. I don't even have a spell that I can, like, try to hover to see who's gonna get the buff. In that case, I just buff Nami, right? Because she's going in. We do this. We put our opponent at 9. I think the retreat return kind of seals the deal. Like, this feels like the game. It feels like the game is already over, and like I get to play Eye of the Dragon here and get me a Dragon Link for next turn. The only thing I really need to be cognizant of is Buried in Ice, but because I have the retreat return on top of both the Burblefish and the Die and Disciple, you know, to tap my opponent out to do that next turn, and they kind of have to do it next turn, or it's not going to happen. Is this a Fury? There's no way it's like... Okay. So they don't care about saving the unit, they just want to save a little bit of damage, which is fine by me, because if this is anything like the Shadow Isle version, which I imagine it has to be if people are playing this list, then I shouldn't have too much issue pushing through 15 damage here. Alright, I'm going to lose my draw spell. I don't think there's anything more expensive in this list. Okay, Deep Med. Honestly, don't hate losing a Deep Med, and Eye is already active, so we float full spell mana. I don't want to kill this if I don't have to. Dealing with the possibility of a random ruination when I don't have Deny immediately available is not a prospect that I love. This is probably just an Eye of Nagaka Boros turn. Or on Glinthorn. Right, it's not double elusive. Okay. Play one of them here. Looks like we're not killing next turn. Should I be trying to kill this turn? Is that possible? Doesn't. Well, with Palm in a Challenger feels I should probably math this out, but that's not going to make for good content. We just got to send it. I've got counter magic on backup, so it feels safe. Okay. So if we were to full send right now, be 15. So yeah, 2 Nami buffs should do it. And I retreat the Nami when they go to block it. Or should I... It's actually probably easier to do this if I just overwrite my tentacle with an elusive and get another spell. This feels safer. Oh, they have another unit. That was unexpected. Is this throwing? Is that what I've done? Have I thrown the game? I'm certainly not losing, but... If I retreat this, it wastes a buff. What if I do this? I still don't think this is lethal, but... What if? Why is that still the same amount of damage? Okay. This doesn't feel worth it then. Not the best math I've ever done. Did I played 2 spells, right? Yeah. This will get stunned, but they want to drag it anyway, so okay. I mean, honestly, that's kind of good enough for me. They don't really have like over-the-top damage in this deck. I'll go to 5. All I'm really trying to stay cognizant of is denying the 8 mana card's ability. It that stairs. And I probably have a guaranteed lethal with Stand United if they have a Frostbite, because they've already used 2 flash freezes, right? Because they discarded 1 on turn 1. Yeah. Icequake? Okay, I mean that's kind of what I was looking for, right? Just like any 3 damage board wipe. And then this is elusive lethal. They don't have an insane amount of interaction, so Nopify plus Deny should be enough. If not, Stand United is definitely enough. Okay, so we got it. I think I had lethal on the turn where I decided to play the purple fish instead. Like, I think everything was gonna survive, but when it comes to playing Nami decks, sometimes I just look at it and I'm like, I'm pretty sure the math works out. Let's just full send it instead of taking my time and actually doing math. It's sort of this weird leftover habit of the fact that, like, I've never competed in a game that had a ladder system. So I'm not incentivized to, like, try my hardest on ladder, and even just the idea of kind of taking 30 seconds to do the math doesn't seem worth it when I could just, like, full send it and know that it'll probably work. Which, like, it's just the mentality that I have, right? Like, I cast Legends of Runeterra. I'm not a professional player. I'm not competing in the seasonals. I'm not trying to hit top 50 on ladder right now so that I can get my 7-2 seeding or, like, compete for Worlds points or anything like that, right? At least in Akshan, so I need stuns. I don't think I really matters then. I think I just full send. So I'm just kind of like, I'll play a little bit more loose and know that, like, eventually I'll hit Masters, and the end of season rewards for being Masters are really the only thing that I get out of that. However, I have also noticed that, not me in particular, I've noticed this out of, like, other casters and then been worried that, like, it is something I'll pick up as well, is, like, you can kind of, like, sometimes you'll listen to a broadcast and you can kind of, like, tell who hasn't played in a couple of months or only plays, like, once a week or something. And I would rather sort of try ladder and do this in order to avoid becoming that, rather than, like, have someone call me out on it and be like, oh, you know what, you're 100% right. I don't want to just throw down Nami because they are a Sonic Wave deck. They don't have a punish with, they don't have, like, a full punish, is what I meant. Or, like, they can either have a spell to buff attack, but they don't have something to, like, buff attack and health and make me die on Akshan. I think TF's really valuable for stopping Lee, but my opponent's got a lot of cards out right now, and I need to spend mana. But I guess I can twin and try to block Akshan. Okay. Cheeky bugger. Could go I pass. I'm at 9, right? Okay. Good enough for me. Wish I had that eye last turn. Not an ideal situation.
요, 안돼 멋진데.
마음에 들어? 아니, 닥치고 와서 싸울 준비나 해.
치고 빠지기.
하! 누가 나랑 경쟁할 건데?
넌 날 못 이겨.
We'll just do a little bit of trading, a little bit of chumping. If I throw out Nami, the worst case scenario is they play the weapon spell on Akshan to get him up to 5 attacks to level, and then they use the Akshan spell to be 5 attack. There's a chance Nami dies, even through Twin Discipline. I think it's worth it.
더 이상 마라이족에게 두려움은 없어요.
This feels like an unnecessary risk, but I don't think it's actually that risky. Because I have Nopify to stop the Akshan spell.
말해 뭐해? 행동으로 보여줄 텐데.
만조의 몸을 싣고
Not in love with our position here, though, folks. I need to find a way to get around the lead. Got 5 in hand. 1 was just manifested. I have to assume that there's a deny. Lee is still pretty far away from leveling.
두려워하는군요. 저도 느껴본 적 없죠.
I think my best bet is to just produce a secondary threat, which would have to be Shelly. And they have overwhelm
열심히
weapon now.
노력한 덕분이라고 해야겠지만 난 그냥 늘 최고였어.
Alright, either another Akshan or another Lee. I don't think Nami's making it through this turn. But maybe. Shelly can also do some work in actually protecting Nami if I go for... Okay, that was expected. They haven't played any spells yet, so I could go for a challenge onto Lee. The problem is that if they have, you know, the Lee Sin spell, then Lee will get barrier, and I'll feel silly. I think I actually just pass here. That doesn't feel right. I could attack with this, but I do kind of want to hold the Sonic Wave. Yeah, I'll pass and see what happens. Because worst case, they go to kill Nami, and then I fire off some spells in response. Okay, can you get your Lee Sin to level with 11 mana and 6 cards in hand? Or I mean, really all they need is like the 1 mana equipment spell, and then like that's 2 spells. It's also 2 procs on the palace. They can probably level this turn, and I just really don't have a hand that's gonna do anything about that.
악당들아 각오해라. 내 땅을 위해 각오하시오.
쓸어담아.
I could twin to get more spells out of them, but the only actual spell that I get out of them is the Dragon's Rage, or the Resonating Strike, so I think it's better to just go for the Homecoming here. Or, no, Stand United is safer. I think someone did this to me earlier.
파도와 함께. 물살에 몸을 맡겨요.
Unless they run Quicksand, which I don't think most Akshan Lees are running Quicksand. I wasn't. So I got punished by this. That's a spell on the stack, so it's not Quicksand. I am threatening the life of their Akshan currently. I'm sure they'd like to do something about that. Will of Ionia. Yeah, that's fine. Still don't know what their second champion spell is, so it might still be the Akshan spell, and Lee was targeted this turn, so they could still take aim at my Nami, so I want to preserve Twin Disciplines.
명상 같은 건 안 해.
Okay, now we just fire off the elusive brigade. And hope that this is enough. And I think it will be, barring Quicksand. They might have stuns and stuff though. I need to go now before that fires off, so they already used a spell? No. They played a weapon. Okay, so I could go after Lee here with this. I don't think there's a reason not to. That lethal? One shy.
물살에 몸을 맡겨요.
우측력 감세.
Okay. They can stop 2 attackers, potentially, with how much mana they have. Or they could stop absolutely nothing, and we can claim a W.
제가 아끼는 사람들이 좀 더
The pink
안전해졌군요.
region is too easy. And we're D1 again. Just like an athlete.